The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi Anshul. Anshul, am I audible? Right. Hi. Anshul, we just have only yourself. Okay, let's wait for some couple of minutes or at the max for 5 minutes. Let's see if others are joining us. We should go ahead. Okay, if not, we should start. Thanks. Okay, we have Monisha and Imran joined us. Let's go ahead, right? We still have Mektar. That's fine. Let's start. Okay. Hey guys, Imran and Monisha. Hey, are you there? Hi. Yeah, we were just waiting for you. Right. Let's go ahead. Okay. So again, today we are to move with web application security. Okay. So today's topic will be Azure Web Application Security, where we are going to speak about what all the different sort of security components we have in Azure, okay, for web applications. So the objective of this module, I mean, by the end of this module, you will be able to go up with describing the, excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Monisha, try rejoining Monisha. I don't have an internet problem here. How about others? Am I audible? Right. Okay. So, Monisha, the problem is from your side. Please try rejoining. Okay. So, the objective for today will be we will speak about the Azure AD. Okay, that's your Active Directory. We will compare with the on-premise Active Directory and the Azure AD, what all the advantages you have. We will also speak about the features, I mean, like single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, all these things that we have in Azure AD. Okay, and we will speak about the how to implement the security. Okay, I mean, like Facebook login or let's say an AD login. Okay, all these things, and followed by that, we will speak about the Microsoft Azure multi-factor authentication service. Okay, so that's about how to configure MFA, probably let's say by OTP or by an authenticator app, all these things. And finally, the key resource that we have in Azure, which is your Azure Key Vault. Okay, so these are going to be the topics for today. And let's start with why do we need security? Okay, we have something called as application security. So application security is irrespective of whatever may be the resource that you're going to use in Azure. It might be based upon your SQL database. Okay, consider it might be your Azure SQL database, or it might be your Azure web app that you're running, or it might be about your virtual machines. Okay, anything that you're going to speak it across. So there you have something called as application security. The very first major component that you have is Azure is, of course, it's going to be a secure data center. Okay, Azure does all sort of encryption. It might be on storage or anything. It's going to do the encryption. But when it comes for the application part, you need to take care of your application, right? Let's consider a simple scenario. Let's speak about a virtual machine. When I set a login as a demo user and when I set a password saying that password at the rate 123, it's not going to be a strong password, isn't it? It's not going to be a strong security that you're going to keep it across. So those sort of security failures, right? Those sort of having a password as a weak password or setting up some not setting up a SSL certificate. So all these factors are where you cannot rely on the cloud service provider, provided the mistake is on your side, saying that the application security is going to be a weakened one. So in this case, what you need to do is that you have to first set up the password. You have to first configure the things like, let's say, the SSL certificate or the encryption that you have for the storage, the SQL injection attack that you have, right? So you need to configure all these things whenever you put up a resource on Azure. So by default, Azure is not going to do any sort of SQL injection attack to be prevented or configuring alerts. Microsoft is not going to do all those things. Okay, you need to configure it. Just the data that you're going to give it towards Azure, that's going to be protected. The data center is going to be protected. So the hijacking or the vulnerable attack that's going to happen, all these things you need to protect it by configuring the services, that is the security services that Azure gives it to you. So here what you need to do is that you need to develop an application. You need to put up a security factor, that is your application develop security at top of the application what you're going to code. So for an example, if I'm going to deploy a web app, okay, consider I'm going to put up a web application. It might be a ASP.NET web application, or it might be a Java application that I'm going to deploy. What I need to do at the end is that I have to put up a component, right? I have to put up a SSL certificate at top of it. I also need to put up some alerts. right? So I need to configure all these things if I need to keep the application to be available on the secured environment. So the common sort of attacks that you can find, right, commonly speaking on cloud is like your SQL injection. SQL injection is like a common injection attack that people do for the SQL database. Okay, so that's a SQL injection that will happen on your SQL database. You have session hijacking. They can hijack your sessions. Okay, your cookies, all these things. Cross-site scripting is between the server and the client, where they do some cross-site scripting to get all your data. Probably you should have seen that you get a mail, right? Click here to access something like that, and you go there, you land up with a vulnerable attack. So that's cross-site scripting. You have application level, which is man in between, right? You have man in between who is going to attack your data. So that we call it as man in time, and this M stands for something I don't remember exactly. Okay, so that's MITM that you have. So a man stands in between and he's going to attack your data. And the same for the DDoS attack that's going to happen at the network level. So to overcome all these things, Azure comes up with different security components. Okay, so to deal with these threats, commonly, let me speak about a web application. Okay, in those cases, it's going to scan your entire web application. So in that case, Azure comes up with a security called tinfoil security. This is a paid service. It's not a free of cost service. It's not even available for free trial. Okay, so you need to pay for it to get access for this. So whenever you put up a web application, you need to put up an SSL certificate. You need to put up a tinfoil security, which will scan your web application, and it will keep the data to be protected. Okay. So to configure this, what you can do is let me go. Excuse me. Let me go to the Azure portal here, and I can create a web app. Okay. So let's create a web application here. I'll click on add, and let it be a normal web app. Let's click on create. And I'm going to give the name of the web app as Edureka Test. Edureka Test is not available. Let's say CodeSizzler Test. Okay. And resource group, I'll name it as Edureka Resource Group. OS Windows. Let's put up a new plan. Create new Edureka App Service Plan. Should be at South India. And pricing tier, let it be a basic one. Okay. So I'll select basic. Let's click on OK. And I'm going to create this. Okay. So I'm going to put up a web app now. Let's see if the app has been deployed. Okay. It's getting deployed. Let's wait until the deployment gets completed. Okay, so it has been deployed. Let me go to the resource here. And the normal security, what you can configure here is, see, you can scroll down. Okay, you can scroll down, you can find alerts. So you can go for alerts. Here you can speak about configuring the alerts. So you can say add a metric alert when the CPU percentage goes higher, when the metrics, any sort of metrics. Okay, when it goes higher, you can say that, say alert on metrics. When it goes higher on CPU percentage or data in, data out, HTTP, right? So that you can process an alert, you can get a mail. So you can give the email ID, or you can take up an action using logic apps or by webhook, okay, to route the alerts. So this you can do. This is the normal alert what we have. Okay, I'll do it for you on a basic stuff. Let's say alert one. This is a demo alert. Alert on metrics. Okay, it's going to be CodeSizzler test, the app service plan. When the CPU time is greater than one threshold, that is the percentage of consumption, okay, over last 5 minutes, it has to send an email for the owner and for the, let's say, the other admin or something. Okay, so let's give the email ID and you can click on OK to create the alert. So here you can find the alert will be created now. Hi Monisha, my free trial was done yesterday. Can you please provide me with Azure Portal credentials? Monisha, you need to activate your free trial, Monisha. Edureka will not give you cloud accounts. So here you can find we have the alert which has been configured. Okay, and you should find the metrics. See, so when it goes higher, you will be receiving a mail. Okay, so that's where you can configure alert. This is a basic alert what we have. Okay, this is not a paid service. Whereas when you go here, you can find SSL settings, right? You can add a SSL certificate. Okay, so this is where you're going to put up a certificate. Either you can add the SSL binding from Azure, or if you're doing domain mapping like from GoDaddy or BigRock, something like that, you can even buy it from there. So that's another factor we have. And at top of all these things, you can find diagnose and solve problems. So this is another security factor that you have. So you can go for diagnose and solve problems. So when you go for diagnose, here you can find they have different sort of Q&As. So availability and performance, configuration management, best practices that you need to perform to keep your app to be always available. Okay, you can search here. Okay, and you can come up with a answer for the same. So when you say high CPU percentage, it's going to take the CPU analysis. See, no data available because it's not consuming anything. You can even show by the graph. So this is a normal one that you have. But for scanning the application, okay, let's say your web application to be scanned and it has to send an alert or anything. So for that, you have a product called tinfoil security. So that you can access, probably you go here. Give me one sec. Let's close this. Yes, diagnose tools, right? You go here, okay, and you click on this diagnose tools. You can find security scanning. Okay, that's a premium tool. That's a paid service. Okay, you can go for this security scanning, and here you can enable it. So to enable tinfoil security for Azure, you need to activate your free trial account. Sorry, your credit card. I mean, pay as you go. So you have a subscription called Pay As You Go. I hope you guys know that, right? So you need to activate that, and then it will take security and all these things. Okay, so that's what we have in Azure as a tinfoil security. It's like a third-party service which has been added up here. You can click here and you can find. See, they have scans, the maximum URLs that it can scan. They have given those things. So the maximum URL in the sense, let's say codesizzler.in. Then there's another link called codesizzler.in/documents. Then there's another link called codesizzler.in/clients.html. So it can scan multiple pages and the maximum scan duration you have. You can configure as per the requirement what you need here. Okay. So clicking through all these things or clicking through the license agreements, you can select it. You have a license agreement here. You can go through it. Okay. And then you can click on purchase to purchase it. This is an enterprise account. Okay. So here I have not linked the credit card. So you should find an error here when I click on this. Let me show you. See, I'm getting an error. Okay. So you need to link your credit card, then you can do it. Okay. Uh, Hi Anshul, does it scan binaries? Yes, it scans the binaries as well. All the encrypted data will also be scanned because this is going to land up, okay, on your web page. So I can show you. Still, I have the slides for you since we cannot show it across here. See, here you can find. When you configure this, you'll be getting a portal like this. Okay. So after the installation, you'll get a dialog box. You can click on scan and it can scan it. So after scanning it, it will give you the results. You can click on view results. Okay. So that will result up saying that whatever the things which has happened, like HTTPS level of security or SSL certificate, Okay, so you can do any sort of things. Is that okay? Any questions? Okay, go ahead, try creating a web app. Okay, configure alerts for it and make sense about this tinfoil security. I mean, the diagnosis and solving problems. And then let's go for the next topic. Okay, just make sense about this. Then I will show you the SQL database alerts, all these things. Take some 10 minutes. Let's roll back for the next topic. Okay. Can you please check if you can provide credentials for Azure Portal? Monisha, trust me, even I'm using a paid service. Okay. Or you drop a mail for support at edureka.co. They should help you out. Okay. I don't have a free trial account with me. That's the reason I'm saying you. Have you all done with it? Shall we go for the next? Okay. Anshul? Okay, fine. Thanks. So the next sort of security factor that we go up is this is the one which I was speaking about, SSL. Okay. The next authorization that you can do for a web app is by means of your AD. Okay. So you can do authorization and you can do the authentication services using Azure Active Directory at the backend. So you no need to write any code. You no need to change any sort of codes. Even by using third party tools like Facebook, you should have seen sign up with Facebook, sign up with Twitter, all these things, right? So you can add up all those things just by clicking on the configuration option that you have in Azure. Okay. So what you can do for this is you go here on the Azure portal. Let me close this. Can you find this authentication or authorization? So here you can say, I'm going to enable the app service authentication, and here you can find all the third parties. So it might be in Google, I mean the Gmail accounts, or it might be the Twitter accounts, Microsoft account, Facebook, Azure AD. Okay, you can just access it. So in order to authenticate by using any of these identity providers, you first need to configure the identity provider. That is, this is the identity provider. Okay, it might be on any APIs that you have. The older way was like you need to go for the developer console of Facebook, right? I hope if you're a web developer for a long period of time, you should have known something called Orkut. We used to fix something called as sign up with Orkut, right? You need to go for the developer console of Orkut, you have to call it and you have to represent it on the web application. Same like that here, it was same, but now the CSPs are supporting it. Okay, so you have Facebook, Google, all these things. The identity provider will then provide the IDs and secrets. Okay, so your app IDs and the secret keys that you have. So that you need to represent here, and the redirecting URL where you're going to call it, you have to provide that also over here. So that's how the authentication works. Okay. So to configure this, you'll be using either Azure AD. See, when I go for Azure AD, you can go for the managing things. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll not mess up these things with you. I'll just go up speaking about what is Azure AD. Do you know what is an Azure Active Directory, or you want me to brief that? Because here you can find in the slides we don't have this Azure AD. Okay, this is something like advanced what they have given. So they are directly going for how to use Azure Active Directory login. That's it. So do you want me to show about Azure AD? Okay, fine. So Azure Active Directory is one of a service that you have it on your Azure. Okay. Previously, we had something called as just Active Directory. That is, you would be configuring it on a Windows Server machine. Okay, which we call it as Active Directory. Now it is there available on the cloud. That is your Azure Active Directory, where you can create your users. So here you can find there's something called CodeSizzler tenant, which is a directory, and inside this you can create users. So users in the sense, let's say if I'm adding a new user, I'll name it as Anshul. So I can give it as Anshul at domain would be like this. Wait, let me show you. CodeSizzler group1 dot on Microsoft.com. Okay, dot on Microsoft.com. So there it goes with the Active Directory, and we can configure the profile with the first name, last name. Let me say Anshul. Okay, and second name, let's just give it something like that. I'll click on OK. So you can also add this person towards a group. Okay, I don't have any group now. So groups in the sense it's like VM administrators or subscription administrators, something like that, contributors. Okay, directory role you have three things: global admin, user, or limited administrator. Depends upon the privileges that you're going to give. And you can click on show password to get the password here. So you have the password, right? You can copy the password. This is the username and this is the password. And you're supposed to change the password by the first time you're going to log in. Okay. Uh, Contributor role is what you have users. Okay, Monisha. See, when I say global admin, he has full control. Limited administrator, see here you can find. Is going for a building administrator, all these things. User will not have subscription access all. Even if you're sharing the subscription access, he cannot access the virtual machines, all these things. He can just view it. That's it. Are you clear, Monisha? Okay. So this is about your Active Directory, and the privileges that we have in the Active Directory is that you can also add enterprise applications. So you can find, see, when I go for CodeSizzler tenant, you can find enterprise applications. You can add applications which are of third party. I will click on new application here. See, you have plenty of applications. So either by using GitHub, GoToMeeting, Dropbox, okay, or even the application just running it on premise. Using any of these things, you can add it up. So that's where we go. I hope you're getting my point, right? So that's one another thing that you have. It provides cloud access management, okay, and it is built with the support of the global scale. So this will be always available. Azure has to take care about your Active Directory. You no need to worry about it, whether it has been configured or it has not been configured. You no need to worry about it, okay. So there's no downtime. That's another advantage, and it is used to manage the users and access, right? You should have seen that we have users, you have groups, all these things, okay. And the other advantage is that you can extend with your on-premise. See, when I clicked on new application, you should have seen on-premise applications can also be connected. That's an advantage. And you can provide single sign-on as well. So single sign-on for multi-factor authentication. That is, you should have seen the Google accounts, right? In Google accounts, you have something called as, you go to YouTube, you get signed in, and you open a new tab, gmail.com, it also gets signed in automatically, right? So those sort of things you can do it here. So you provide single sign-on, okay? So that's a factor. And you can also enable multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is by either by OTP or by QR code. Okay, you can access it. So that's another sort of activation that you do. So the features, I mean, the advantages of Azure AD is that I have a slide here. I can show you. Uh, right, let me show you here. See, the price by free, it has a directory as a service. You can create users, all these things. You can access directories, okay? And you can also configure single sign-on. That is 10 apps for users, okay? And you have the directory synchronization, all these things. Whereas they don't support you for log on, okay? Group-based access, all these things. So that's the disadvantage that we have. And we have other features like basic and premium. Depends upon the tier what you're going to use, okay? Now I will go for a demo on the Azure AD where we are going to give the application access overview. Okay. So for this, what I will do is I'll just quickly go across. First, let me work with something called single sign-on for the SaaS applications. So to go with single sign-on, you need to go for your Azure Active Directory. This is my Azure AD. Okay. And you need to click on Enterprise Applications and you need to go for adding an application. So click on New Application, and here you can search for any application. Say for example, I'll search for Twitter. Okay, so I can search for Twitter and you can add this application. See, I'm getting the name as Twitter. So you can enable a single sign-on mode either by password-based single sign-on or federated-based single sign-on. Okay, a simple example that I can give for you guys is you should have seen the applications like Jet Airways, right? You have any sort of airlines, all these things. So when you write something on Twitter saying that this flight is late by half an hour or 1 hour, and you are not informed, something like that, you immediately get a response from the support guys of Jet Airways or something like that, right? So that's like you add an application here for your users. Okay, let's say for example, Anshul at jetairways.com, Imran at jetairways.com, Monisha at jetairways.com, right? So all these guys would be having the access for the premium Twitter account. So they no need to have the password of the Twitter handler, which is Jet Airways support. They can just log in with their email ID and they can access the application. So that's what we give it here. Password based single sign on. It's your password. It's a password of your user. Okay. So you can click on add and you can add this application. And once after you add an application, you will get landed up seeing the application here. Okay. So the application has been added. Let's go up here. You can find Twitter. So when I click on this Twitter, you will see a dialog box saying application Twitter, right? All these things, the total number of users that you have. So this is what I was saying. You can add number of users and there you have the sign on. Okay. You can assign a user as well. So you can find users and groups here. You can click on add user and you can assign a user. See users. You can search for any user and you can add it over here. So these are all guys whom I have it on my Twitter account. I mean on my directory. Okay, you can add it on any users. Are you clear, guys? Are you clear about enterprise applications and single sign-on? Any questions? Okay. So let me complete the multi-factor authentication as well. Then you can go ahead to make sense. Okay. So multi-factor authentication is where you go for here. Okay. Let me create a user first. So I'll go for users and I'll create a new user. Let's name this user as Monisha. So the user is going to be Monisha at CodeSizzler. It's the domain name. CodeSizzler group1.onmicrosoft.com. Okay. And profile, I will give it here. Monisha Edureka, and she's going to be a user. Okay, or let me make her as a global administrator. Let's click OK. It's going to be global administrator, so you get the password. Let me take a note of it. Excuse me. So the account name is Monisha at the rate CodeSizzler group1 dot on microsoft.com. Okay, and this is the password. Let's click on create. Cool. So here you can find Monisha, right? Now I will try signing in. Let me go for portal.azure.com with some other browser and I'll sign in here. So the account name is Monisha group1 dot on microsoft.com. Okay, and this is the password. You need to change the password for the first time. So we are changing the password. Right, so I have changed the password now. So she is a global admin where she can just come here, she can access it. Still, we have not shared the subscription, right? So you can share the subscription by going for all services. You have subscriptions, select the subscription, you have access control. Okay. So from access control, you can just go up here. Wait, I will share it. I'll click on add. I'm going to make this person as owner. Okay, see here we have owner. So we have different roles here. I am selecting this person as a owner and I will give the account details. Monisha at the rate CodeSizzler group1 dot on microsoft.com. Right, so we have it here. Let's click on save. So I have added this. Now let's try refreshing this. What happened? Old services. Okay, it's getting loaded. Let's try signing out and we should sign in again. Old services. Let me check. See, I have a subscription CodeSizzler tenant, but I don't know why I'm not getting it. Let me check. Uh, should go with a different browser then. Okay, here you should find. So see, CodeSizzler tenant is there, and let's go for all resource. This person is admin, right? So you can find the credits, the resource that we have. Okay, so she has the access for everything. Now, probably let me close this. So let's not get confused. I'm going to configure MFA for this person. Okay, so to configure multi-factor authentication, I can go for the AD, that is the master account. From here, I will go for the Azure Active Directory. Let's go for users, and I will select this user, Monisha. Let's say multi-factor authentication. Okay, so here you can find we have multi-factor authentication. Can you find this account, Monisha here? And let's enable this person. I will click on enable and let's enable MFA. Let's click on close. It gets activated. Okay, so it's enabled now. Now let me sign out and I will sign in again. So here I am signing in. It says we need to configure MFA. So let's click on next. And I'm going to authenticate either by these ways, either by authentication on phone, by office phone, or by using a mobile app. So I'll go by step by step. Okay, I'll say authentication phone. Let's select India and I'll give the number here. Okay, so I'm saying that send me a text message, that's a OTP. Let's click on next. So I should receive a SMS now and I can validate it. Okay, so I have received a message 350, sorry, 9096, 359096. Click on verify. Right, so let's click on done and I go there. Okay, so that's the MFA. Now, whenever this person logs in, okay, see, I will give the password here. It should send me SMS. See, it's sending SMS now. It's asking for the code. So the SMS is 567270. Right, I got validated now. Are you clear? I hope you're able to follow, right? Hey guys, are you there? So that's about MFA that you have by OTP. Okay. The other one that we have is by means of you should be able to find it here. See, I will say sign out. The other way that we have is by your QR codes. Okay. Let me see. Give the password here. You'll get a verification on the mobile. So that's the other way that you can use it. See, sign in another way. You have either text or call. Okay. You can also format it. You can just go for selecting this user and you can disable him and I can enable it again. So let's enable. Uh, I have disabled it. I hope. Let's refresh once. Okay, it has been disabled. Let's try enabling now. I'll select this person and let's click on enable. Now let me log in. Okay. So it says you need to validate. Let's click on next. And this time by mobile app. Okay. So either you receive the notifications for verification or the verification code. So you have an app called Microsoft Authenticator. Okay, you can download that app. You will be receiving the notifications here. Okay, you can follow that. So I will say that I need to receive a notification, and using the notification, I can get logged in. Okay, so let's click on setup. It's configuring the mobile app. You should have downloaded the mobile app. It might be for Android or for iOS. You can download it on any ways. Okay. So it says install the Microsoft Authenticator app for Windows Phone or Android or iOS. In the app, add an account by choosing work or school account. So I'm opening the app in my mobile now and I'm adding it. Okay, let's add the account and saying it as work or school account. And now I'm scanning this QR code. So the QR code is getting activated. And here you can also click on next. So it's checking the activation status on my mobile. Okay, it has been added now. So in my mobile, now I have an account called as Monisha at CodeSizzler group1.onmicrosoft.com. See, the mobile app has been configured for notifications and verification codes. So let's click on next. And now I'm receiving a notification. See, it says, please respond to the notification on your device. Let's click on approve. There we go. Okay, in case if you have lost your, if you don't have internet or anything, you can receive SMS. So that's the number that we have given. And let's click on done. I hope you guys are able to follow, right? So now when I sign out and sign in again, you can go for Monisha at CodeSizzler group1.onmicrosoft.com and the password. I'll be receiving a notification now. Let me click on approve and there we go. Okay, so this is how you can configure MFA. The same has been illustrated on the slides as well, but the slides are outdated. Okay, see, it's on the old portal. I will show you here. See, this is all old portal. Can you find this default directory applications? Whereas in the new portal, it will be like this, the one which I showed you. This is how the AD will be. Yeah, here. This is how the Active Directory will be. Okay, see, Azure Active Directory. So I don't want you guys to follow the slides for this. Okay, applications I showed you, right? See, here we have applications, enterprise applications. Here they just gave it as application. So this is the old portal. Okay, you can add an application. So that's all the thing that we have. Okay, sign on URL, all these things. Well, so go ahead, try adding up these things, okay, and configure the MFA, make sense with the Azure AD. Okay, take some 15 minutes, make sense on this, then we can go for the next. Today the topic is like a very smaller one. Okay, next we will go for SQL database. Again, that's not given on the slides, but I will go with the SQL database and I will show you how you can add security for the SQL DB. Okay. Right, take some 15 minutes and let's join for the next SQL database security alert. Okay. Hey guys, shall we go for the next? Okay, thank you. So probably the next one is where we are going to configure. Let me remove this. Okay, this is a paid one. So give me one sec. I'll remove this user and I'll come back. I suppose. And I had to do an application as well, right? So okay, so now let's go ahead. The second sort of thing is that, see here, they have not given on the slides, okay, but still I want you guys to make sense. They have just gone with the Azure AD alone, okay. This we have done, okay, MFA, all these things. And they have directly gone for the Azure keyword. But before that, there's a security feature which we have in the database as well. So I want you guys to make sense on that. You can create a database here, right? In the first, I mean, on the starting, you were seeing that we have something called SQL injection, isn't it? So that security layer, you can add it up on the SQL database. So first, let me create a SQL DB. I've named this database as CodeSizzler DB. Okay, sorry. And let me put it on the same resource group, Edureka. It's going to be a sample database, and let's create a server, Edureka. Right. Let me say it's going to be a basic one. Click on apply, and I'll create it. Let it get created. Let it get deployed. Give me some 2 minutes. Excuse me. I'll get back. Okay. I have a microphone problem. Give me 2 minutes. I'll just take another headphone. Okay. It's getting deployed. Let's wait until the deployment gets completed. Okay, it has been deployed. Now let's go to the results. So the initial level of security, I hope you guys know this, right? The initial level of security, what you have is the set server firewall. So you will add the client IP address from which the machine is going to be accessed. So when you say add client IP, you will get the start IP and end IP here. Whereas the SQL injection attack, all these things, you can scroll down. Can you find this advanced threat protection, right? So you go for this advanced threat protection, and here you can say, okay, so the disaster recovery, all these things can be taken care by here, enabling advanced detection. Okay, so this will work on the server level. It's going to take care of the vulnerability attacks, threat detection, okay, and data discovery, all these things. The other way that you have is the encryption that you do, transparent data encryption. Okay. Further, you can move down, you can find alerts. So here, the SQL injection, all these things you can take care. You can say add metric alerts. Let's name alert one. Again, this is a demo alert. Okay. Alert two, sorry. Alert based on the metrics. Resource, okay, metrics. Can you find this? We have session DTO limit database size blocked by firewall. Okay, failed connections in the sense when a unauthenticated IP address tries to get connected, then it's a failed connection. Okay, so you can get logged with all these things, and you can take up an action as well. Okay, so that's why we configure alerts for SQL Server. The other way which we were discussing is this dynamic data masking, all these things. Okay, you can do the encryption. You can say transparent data encryption, which is on. You can go with audit. You can collect all the logs. Who is trying to log all these things? Okay, see, I will say on. You have to create a storage account, and it will store all the logs on the storage account. Okay, so that's the security feature that we have for database. And here we have the state protection, which we were already speaking about. Okay, let's go for settings, and you can make sense here. See advanced state server settings. You can click here, threat detection types. Okay, SQL injection vulnerability, unsafe action, data exfiltration. Okay, anonymous client login. So when someone tries to log in, I mean the unauthenticated IP address tries to log in, then it will process an alert. So these are all the security features what we have in Azure, okay, for this module. Now, for each and every application, the security layer will be different. Okay, for SQL database, it's here, okay, advanced threat protection. For web app, it is SSL bindings and that diagnose and solve problems. Okay, so that's another thing. For storage account, you have encryption, right? You have encryption, you have SAS tokens, okay, access policies, okay. So those are all the security features what we have in storage. So it depends for each and every resource. Azure comes up with a different sort of security layer. Are you clear, guys? Let me know if you have any questions, please. Imran, Anshul, are you there? Hey, we have Mactur as well. Okay, Mactur, any questions? Yes, Imran, go to your Azure portal, create a SQL database, do the same what I was doing. Are you there, Imran? Go to your Azure portal, create a SQL database, okay, and there you can find the state protection, okay, advanced state protection. There you can make sense. Well, so probably take some 5 minutes of time, make sense about this, okay, and then we have the last topic, which is about Azure Key Vault. Let's work on Azure Key Vault, okay. Are you all trying it? Guys, are you there? Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, please. No, I don't have Azure Portal credentials. My free trial. You have to create another one, Monisha. Try creating another one, please. Let me know if you are good to go for the next topic, please. It's a final topic that we have, Azure Key Vault. For yesterday's session, can you give me some demo on Puppet or Chef? Imran, we did not have Puppet or Chef as the cup of yours, okay, for slides. Instead, do one thing. Wait, give me one sec. Let me check if I have it on my website. If not, I will share document to you. Okay, drop me a mail. I have the document ready available. Jenkins heads up is there, Monisha. It will come on DevOps. Okay. Okay, we just have creating a run book. Drop me a mail, Imran. Okay, as soon as we end up the session, drop me a mail. I will shoot the document to you. Okay. I do have a video, I guess. I will share all the things to you. Okay. Right. Let's go for the next topic, which is about the Azure Key Vault. Okay. So Azure Key Vault is where you're going to keep all your service management, your secrets, okay, your keys, your certificates, all these things to be stored on an encrypted way. Okay. So we use Azure Key Vault where it's a cloud service which will be used for secure storage, okay, of all your access keys, okay, your container level of access, all these things. So your Azure keyword can be used for centralized application security. Okay. Uh, it's like any sort of application that you're going to put it across their access keys, their endpoints, all these things can be kept secure. You can securely store the secrets. Okay, that's your access key again. You can monitor the access, who is accessing it. Okay, you can also create a simplified administration of application secrets. That is, you're going to give the vault consumer, vault owner who is going to access it, and you can integrate with the other resource which you have it on Azure resource group. Okay, so that's why we go for this key vault. Now let me quickly go for this Azure key vault, and I'll help you to create a Azure key vault. Okay, so to create a key vault, what we'll be doing here is that you're supposed to work from either from the PowerShell, okay, or you can go with your the normal one that you have. Okay, I mean the cloud shell that you have. So let's go here for the Azure portal, and I will say activate my cloud shell, and I'll work from the cloud shell environment. Okay, so it's getting activated. Once after it gets activated, I'll show you how we can create a key vault. Let's say I'll use PowerShell, create storage. Yes, it's getting connected. So here the command is az, okay, key vault. So we are going to create a key vault. It's a CLI command. Okay, so we say create with the name of it. So the name for the key vault is, I'll say CodeSizzler KB. Okay, and resource group. We can put it on any of the resource group. Probably, let's say I will. Okay, I'll put it on the resource group, which is named as Cloud Shell. Okay, so it's Cloud Shell Storage Central India. So let's close this, and let's say the location where it is based out of. Okay, so the location will be Central India. So this creates the keyword for us. Okay, once after the keyword gets created, you can add secret to the vault, which requires a couple of additional steps. Like you can set the password. Okay, let's say for example, some password we can keep it over here. Let it get created. I will show you. Can you find this? The key vault has been created, so it works with all the secrets for storage, for keys. Okay, it can work for all these things. Now we can set a password for this. So to set a password, what you can do is you can just simply say AZ key vault secret. Okay, set vault name. So you need to give a vault name followed by this. So my vault name is CodeSizzler KV, right? And the name what we are going to give here. So let's give it as Edureka password, and the value for the same. So the value will be, let's say, Edureka123. Okay, so let me give this and I will give enter. So this gets created. See, it creates CodeSizzler KV dot vault dot Azure dot net, and it creates a secret. It stores all the secrets inside this. I can show you on live. You can go here and see we have a key vault. So inside this key vault, you can store all the things. You can store your certificates, access policies, all these things. Are you clear? So this is where we use key vault. Okay. The normal thing that you can find is even on the subscriptions, you can see, you can go for all services. You have subscriptions, select the subscription and scroll down. See, you have my permissions. This is, sorry, not my permissions. Give me one second. Resource providers. So this is all again keywords. Microsoft.advisor. Here we have given it as CodeSizzler KV. Okay. So either you can register it or this is created by Azure. It holds permissions, it holds certificates, all these things. Same, you're doing it for your customized one, for your application level of things. Are you clear, guys? Imran, Monisha, Anshul. Hey folks, are you there? Yep, cool. So by that, we come to the end. Okay, so we were discussing about, let me show you the slides. Yes, right. We were discussing about this key vaults, all these things, integrating with other resource. Okay, your event types, log analytics, all these things. And we were creating a key vault. And we were also setting up a password. So as a summary, we were working with the Azure AD, okay, your Active Directory. We were able to create with directories that we have in Azure Active Directory, creating a new user, groups, okay, having multiple users, setting up the subscription level of access, configuring single sign-on for them, and multi-factor authentication with password based or with I mean the authenticator based, okay, the app. And finally we were working with Azure Key Vault. So by that we come to the end for this module, and you can let me know if you have any questions. Yet still we have DevOps, okay, the next topic. So by the next Saturday we'll be working with DevOps on Azure. And once after completing DevOps on Azure, we have a final session which speaks about a summary, whatever we were discussing. Okay. And the questions panel. So you can just make sense that you will activate a free trial, Monisha, and go up with all the things. Okay. Whatever we have done so far. And if you have any questions by the next Sunday, you can summarize it up. Okay. Any other questions on today's topic? You need to do hands-on. So only if you do hands-on, you will be getting questions. Probably activate a free trial, do the hands-on, okay, and write me a mail if you have any questions. Do you have complete project code for sample app? For which one, Imran? For which one you're asking about? Which sample app? Any sample app. Okay, let's do one thing. Today I will share you, drop me a mail. I will share you the sample app for single sign-on. Okay, it will be a .NET application. I'll share you that. Okay, for today's topic, I will share you that. Okay, any other questions? Okay, fine, guys. So let's close with this for today. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. We shall join by next week. Okay, thank you so much for your timing and thanks for joining. See you by next week then. Thanks, Anshul. Thank you. Thank you, Munisha. Thanks, Victor. Yeah, bye bye.